minutes late, unfortunately. But hey, we're here. So, today's topic, we are talking about the PR release, and we are talking about Evo. I am joined by Lord Sturm, or Lord Sturm will be joining us at some point. He will be hopping on, I believe.
He is fresh off the plane, off the boat, wherever he came from Evo, so he will hopefully be joining us later to give us a first-hand discussion on the tournament itself. But first, we will be talking about the PR and unveiling our top 25.
Right, and I am also joined by, of course, Blind and Kappy.
Hey everyone.
Kappy is the B Kappy LOL Kirby.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm an actual face. Hello.
I don't have a camera on my desktop. My B.
Yeah, it happens. All right, but anyways, I want to jump right into the PR because there's some crazy stuff that I want to talk about after I saw it. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
Actually, actually, I'm just gonna type this in chat. Never mind.
So before we go into the actual PR itself, I just want to talk about how it was formulated. First of all, I did change the qualifications for top 25 just a little bit. The more and more results that I have in my calculations, the more accurate these results become. So I had to actually up it to 5 tournaments. And once again, my spreadsheet is a behemoth worth of results and calculations that are weighted based on number of players in attendance. So 5 tournaments minimum in the Chicago area to be considered for the top 25, along with one of those 5 has to be a major tournament, in that I can't effectively rate people against other players unless they are all competing together. And so a major tournament was one that consisted of more than 64 entrants, or even any regional or monthly that we have. So those are the qualifications, and let's get right into it.
All right, can I have a quick question?
Of
Would
course.
a weekly of over 64 people be counted as like a major tournament?
Yes, however, none of them have actually made it to that level.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify because I guarantee you're gonna get a question like that in chat.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure we
absolutely
would.
That would count in that would have hopefully enough competition to be able to rate effectively amongst everyone. But unfortunately, if for say some reason the same person won the same weekly that didn't have a lot of competition over and over and over, that would possibly put them higher than our #1 slot, which we will reveal later.
Right.
But that is my reasoning for changing the thing. So let's jump right into it with number 25. Can I have a drum roll, please?
No. You deal. All right, Kappy's got you. Kappy is the drum roll master.
Thank you, Kappy. All right, number 25. We have our panelists that will be joining us later on. Lovely Lord Sturm.
Squeaking by.
Squeaking by.
On that 25
What was
slot.
he? What was he? Oh man, what was he last time?
At ETC 16, he actually managed to play 17th.
That's super good.
And really played incredibly well. He played, I believe, Zenotto in his first match in winners, and actually nearly took game 1. Then just really bopped his pool, really had the tournament of his recent life.
Yeah, I think Sturm is actually super good. I think his biggest problem is that I think he can get a little emotional when he's playing.
He definitely can.
Salty Sturm is a thing.
But I feel like if Salty Sturm disappeared, he'll be shooting up that list.
I could see it.
Sure.
I'd
Sage,
also...
you actually lost to him at ETC 16.
I did. I played Me Gunner, though, so come on.
No, John. What I want to hear
Whoa,
is...
that Me Gunner's godlike, though.
That Me Gunner is godlike.
How you feel about that match, other than character John's, how he played and what he did.
He's definitely still improving. The 2 things that Sturm always does, and he did it there, but I failed to punish it with Me Gunner as well as I do with Rosalina, was he did not he chases off stage really hard, and he's susceptible to air dodge back air a lot. Like, I get him all the time with that with Rosalina. But he did that less against Me Gunner because he didn't really feel the need to chase off stage. Whereas I think when he's behind, he'll go off stage really hard.
By the
And
way,
then
I am adding him to the call right now, so please stop saying anything negative.
no, say everything negative quick. But the other thing,
He's coming in hot, and the first thing I'm saying is Sturm sucks.
Tom, we are talking about you right now.
Hi guys. How are we doing?
We have unveiled you as the 25th ranked player in the PR, and we are talking about how you squeaked by.
I'm very squeaky. That is one of
Sup,
my
Sturm?
favorite adjectives to describe myself. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
So
Yeah, so the 25th ranked person in Chicago's PR is good enough to O2 at Evo.
And we'll get
Perfect.
to that discussion later. So moving
We got Vegas
on.
Johns for that one, Sturm. Let's be real
Oh,
here.
I've got all the Vegas Johns.
Now that Tom's here,
They're the best kind. They're the best kind of Johns.
now that Tom's here, we can stop talking about him.
right. The other thing I was gonna
Yeah,
say about
boy.
Tom, my other point about his is he's unsafe on shield too often, and that's something that Yoshi can't do. Was just that like he lands into my shield all the time with fares.
I mentioned that in the write-up is that I think that the next step for Yoshi is to, well, for Yoshi is just be more consistent with movement and spacing. And I suck at those, so I'm going to spend some time ladding movement, and hopefully that will show up in results.
I believe.
Me
Lord
too.
Sturm, just good enough. Moving on to number 24, we have
I'll have to check out,
Santo.
the VOD to
Oh.
see all the bullshit you guys said about me.
Number 24, we have Santo.
Falcon, Captain Falcon.
Oh,
Santo is really quite a solid player who's just a tad inconsistent. We've seen him do incredible things. We've seen him take out top 10 players. We've seen him place incredibly well in doubles. What do you think keeps him just out of reach?
I
Consistency.
was just about to say, yeah, I was just about to say consistency is his biggest thing.
You guys are going to hear that a lot.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's hard. You know what? To give like everyone here credit, it's hard to be consistent. On any given day, you can be off. It's really tough to like keep up a game plan that really works all the time. It's really the only like. There's like a few people I can name off the top of my head that could really pull that off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he struggles with some matchups. I think he struggles particularly, at least from what I've seen, against Rosalina. I've seen him... And that matchup, Captain Falcon is one of the rougher ones for Rosalina, but he seems to just not quite have as well-rounded a matchup set, but his technique and his combos and his aggressive... like his actual ability to put pressure on people is really, really, really strong. So
I would describe him as a more patient Captain Falcon player.
sure,
Personally.
Then something
Also,
like
He's
Midas,
really
yeah.
good in doubles.
he's
He is.
really good in
He's
doubles.
He's been on that improvement streak in doubles. But yeah, consistency. As soon as he locks up consistency, because he'll like place like 4th or 3rd at GGA, and then he'll go to like some free weekly and get like 17th. It's like, Santo, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I know
it's like,
all about that life, guys. I
dude,
know
it's like
all
you go. It's like I'm watching the brackets because that's all I can do, and I'm like, wait, how did he lose? What? He's not
Yeah.
supposed to lose.
At ETC 16, Santo actually ended up not even getting 5th out of his pool. I think he ended up getting
Ooh.
7th,
Ugh.
although he had a very
Those pools are
difficult pool to begin with. But sometimes, man, that just really hurts. So
Yeah.
moving on to
Well,
the
the last point I want to make about Santo before we go on is
Sure.
that you know he is only playing Captain Falcon anymore, right?
He's got the Lucas.
Oh,
the-
he's got Lucas.
He's got the
Oh,
Lucas
really?
and he's got the Villager.
Yo,
And
it's
they're
Villager.
They're both tournament level. Who did he beat with Villager at? It was a long time ago. It was at when Play and Trade had like one tournament and then they dipped. Who did he beat with Villager? I think he beat Xavier XYZ.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
He takes real games off real people with his secondaries, and it can be really useful in a counter pick process. Like when I played him A2C 15, and I like 2-stocked his Falcon because he wasn't practiced.
I totally just lost Sturm. Call no. Alright guys, one moment. Let me get this call back. I don't know what happened. I think somebody dropped it. No. be back up momentarily, guys. Don't worry. It's the list. We can all go home. Get out of here. Alright guys, so while we wait for this call to come back, I'm gonna host this call. Alright, one back.
My apologies. My computer overheated and I was hosting the call.
I will host from now on. We live in.
So
Let's get Kappy back in here as well. We live in.
we live
We
in.
in.
We back.
We in.
Blind is no longer allowed to host calls.
Never ever again. Especially not in the summer.
Jeez.
Well, maybe I should just buy you a new toaster, and then it'll work.
You definitely should.
Let me
So
hook you up
moving-
with that cardboard box casing real quick.
And as I backed out too, the chat got shown and
Yeah,
Kappy's list got shown off.
Oh, did they? So people
Oh,
got
really?
a sneak peek.
A couple people got a sneak peek. A couple people.
My list. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you check it twice?
Did we
I don't know.
find out who was naughty or nice?
Oh my god.
Y'all.
Please. All right,
These-
moving on. We are at
Moving
number
on
23.
to number 23. We have a very similar placing. In fact, these two, in terms of percentages for how many people they place better than, are neck and neck, and that is Naoto.
Little Mac.
Yo, I don't know who this is, by the way.
He's actually
Yeah,
a relatively
no.
new dude to the scene. At least I've only recently started seeing him, and he
Okay.
plays only Little Mac. And
Okay.
what did he do at like E2C 15? Didn't he get like 13th or something?
He did really well. I think he got 17th at E2C 13th, and also made it out of pools at E2C 16 and dismantled, both incredibly stacked.
Oh wow, made out of pools dismantle? That's legit.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
I do think he did only. I think he O2'd in bracket at dismantled, but he still is taking out high-level players, like left and right.
Mm-hmm. He beat
did
Nicole's Zero Suit at
Yes.
15.
Yeah.
And Nicole, as we know, is no slouch.
Nope, she
Yeah,
bodied me.
absolutely not.
Now, Little Mac is one of those really fascinating characters because, as Sage and I have talked about, he's one of those that kind of transcends tiers. He either has incredibly good matchups or incredibly poor matchups, and it's almost even more dependent on stage than anything else. So his ability to work with this character and to take names is impressive, to say the least.
I still stand by that. Like, if you do want to place Little Mac in a tier, he's probably like high mid tier because roll behind down tilt is like crazy strong.
Little Mac is the epitome, the living embodiment of polarization.
Yeah. It's so hard to place him because it's like depending totally on where you counterpick him. Like counterpick him to FD 3 times and yeah, he's gonna be like super high tier. Counterpick him to Smashville 3 times and GG, this character's getting bodied. Like watch me just hang out on the taxi platform and you just try to up B me the whole game.
Bruh, I was watching a GGA stream where JJ was playing Tugo, and it was like, man, this character is bad.
But Naoto seems to make it work, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean his Little Mac is legit. He's gotten me twice. He does it all the time. He just stands up from ledge and then just KO punches. He just he just
Hey,
throws
man.
it out
Hey,
there, and I'm like,
hey,
what
man.
wake up option is that?
Hey man, that's the wake up DP, alright?
That is this man literally put Dragon Punch like into the wake up.
So, if someone else can pull up the list, because I am a phone right now.
You're a phone.
I am a phone.
You're a phone. That's good.
All right, let me.
Yeah.
I've got it here. I've got my write-ups here. I'm gonna get them posted pretty much as soon as the stream's done.
Yeah, the
Awesome.
list guys will be up once the stream is over. We'll put the list up and everything.
Yes, and I will actually even put the full rankings for everyone up available as soon as this is over.
Yo, Sturm's write-ups are gonna be hype.
Storm's right up our hype.
They are hype.
Let me
you're
find
right.
the
I've
last.
got 22 is Dom.
Dom. Fox.
Dom.
Dom is really, really quite the Fox player.
Isn't he the only Fox in our top 25?
No, there's another one.
Oh,
Well, there's
Oh, is
another
there?
one.
Okay.
Spoilers.
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 SlowJoe is in there.
spoilers. But Dom, once again, a young player, fairly fresh face to the scene. I don't believe he played Brawl. I don't think I saw him anywhere before. Is incredibly solid. I remember my very first ETC 12. I think it was his first two, and he came out of nowhere and kept me from getting out of pools. Like, damn.
Gotta love those players.
The ones that just like they upset pools. It's just like, who is
They
this?
come out of nowhere. Like I'm not talking coming out of nowhere and like having a background like me or somebody else, like maybe like Akashi. I'm talking about someone who literally we don't know of. It just comes out of nowhere and starts bopping kids.
Yeah,
I love those players.
that stuff is always hype.
It's incredible. It was incredible to watch, and I mean I was salty, but I didn't even feel bad. His jab setups were incredibly hard to escape, and he put so much pressure on me and just got into all of my Rose's stuff. I was so impressed. And he still continues to impress me to this day with all of his placings. He ended up... Funny
top
story.
13, right?
No, he hasn't. Usually he ends up placing 25th or 17th, much like most of these players that are currently in the bottom part of the top 25.
I like to call that SlowJoe syndrome. Make it out of your pool
Here's
and then just nope.
And then just
Nope
like
right out.
come out fourth and just be like get bodied. But
a funny story about ETC 16 is he ended up not pre-registering, and when you don't pre-register, it's very hard to reseed where people are because we've already gotten it down to like a science for anyone who pre-registered. So where do you put him in? Who do you reseed? So I think we put him 7th seed in his pool, and he managed to climb out even despite having to run into the 2nd seed really early.
Yeah, that's
Did he
awesome.
double eliminate? It was Stewie, right? Is that who it was?
Yes, he eliminated Stewie.
Was it double? Did he double eliminate him?
I don't think so. I think he just took him out in losers.
oh, he kicked him out.
Yeah.
He's like, nah. Dom was playing the bouncer of that pool.
He really was, and he did, and it was not an easy pool to begin with. So kudos to that.
Yeah, I mean, legit on Dom. All right, so what do we got next? We are at number 22, I believe.
Oh
No,
we are at
21.
number 21.
21.
Am I in charge of this list now?
And this is your time to all talk about me.
Oh, Blind is number 21.
I am number 21.
All right, so
Yeah.
Blind is 21. Moving on.
Yo, shut.
GG. Oh man.
Blind number 21. I think honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Blind, that's you, Warren.
That's me.
Made it higher in the PR if he wasn't a TO. If he concentrated on just playing the game.
Yeah,
But-
I'd agree.
For people like TOs, commentators, things like that, like a lot of times practice isn't like the main priority. It's what they have to do to prep for tournaments and things like that. So all that time everybody's like, I have 4 hours of lab time before this tournament. It's like TOs are like, I have 4 hours to like figure out brackets.
Yep, I spent my night before EGC 16 working on seeding for a good 4 hours, just figuring out who is who in Michigan and getting everybody like put in a very extreme order, just complete snake laddering it all the way. And that's time that I could have been resting, prepping, practicing. But no, I sacrificed for you all.
You're
all welcome.
I mean, it's good though. I mean,
Okay.
that's good.
It's
It's
I mean,
good.
everybody's
It's good. It's
appreciative.
necessary and it's good. But is this the Blind John hour?
It is.
He's got the Jonotron just
No.
pushing buttons.
Oh, man.
I actually do feel like, if I can talk about myself without sounding completely facetious, that I'm improving, despite not having as much time to practice as other
That's fair.
people.
I mean, at
Racing's very good.
At weeklies, you place generally top 5-ish, top 6-ish at like most of the mid-range weeklies.
Mm-hmm.
If it's stacked, maybe not so much. Maybe then like top 8.
I tend to, on average, place at the top quarter of whatever the entrants are. But even then, like I'm doing better and better. I managed to take Ally to last stock every game I took him in at ETC 16. which if you haven't caught that set, it's really fun to watch me get bodied. So check that out on YouTube.
It was a fun set to watch. I ain't gonna lie.
For sure. All right.
But I'm done talking about me because
I'm done talking about you too.
But for real, I think. What did I write? What did I write? Blah blah blah.
Don't spoil that. Put that up later.
I wrote, you are the worst.
Oh man.
I am.
Tom did write-ups for the whole.
Oh, man.
You did whole top 25, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we'll be posting them.
So we'll post the
immediately
write-ups
after.
as well, and apparently,
man.
blinds is just you are the worst.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go, guys. There's
What
a
a great-
sneak
what a
peek of the
write-up.
write-up.
I
What a
am
write-up.
the worst.
Get this man in the
Good
Sun
on you.
Times, the New Yorker.
Brian, you need to
next
take
week,
out people higher on the list. That's what I think my criticism of you is.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah,
You're missing
a couple
upsets.
upsets, and who knows? Maybe you move up that. Because I think you're super consistent. There's that word again, consistency.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't really see a lot of upsets most of the time.
No, I'll work on it. I'm coming. I did take that one set off you last time, so I'm coming for you all.
You did.
Next
that
we
was my
have-
fresh Rosalina.
Next we have an amazing player who I keep on hoping and praying that he'll get top 10. It's XYZ.
Sitting at
Yeah.
number 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
XYZ's labbing and technique is amazing.
Dude, he streams all the time too.
That man is always on for his
When
like.
when he's like on and he's on his game, the combos and amazing kill setups that he can do, it's beautiful to watch.
He's a scary
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah, he's got some really good combos.
His combos are tight. He's got some. He's been every time I see him in tournament, he's got a new setup for up B, which is gross. But
Outside, yeah.
again, what are we gonna say? Consistency.
Yeah, I
The
think
man
he.
loses.
I think during matches, I think he makes some odd decisions.
Yeah,
That's really what holds him back, in my opinion.
I think he gets too like emotional about like what's happening, or he like tries to be like too stylish or too.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Too stylish. Like the thing is, like if he took the simple punishes, like that's a big thing with a lot of players, though. Tom, please. That's a big
Tom's
thing.
internet is gonna body him all day. This happened last time.
Like a big.
At least it didn't overheat.
That's true. But like a big thing is that a lot of players they'll get a punish. They're in a situation where they can punish, and they'll choose just the strangest option sometimes, and you know that it's leading to something that's big reward, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
And I think XYZ goes for that a little too much.
he goes for that like down smash like release spike all the time, and like he misses it way too often.
And
That man just needs to sit there with like somebody DIing in random directions and just do it like 800 times.
Maybe he needs to learn the Hungry Box tech, where he looks at the opponent's controller to see how they're DIing.
Nah.
The Hungry Box 8 begins. What?
Dude,
I have nothing but respect for that man.
No, me too.
Hungry
I
Box
think
is like my
dude,
favorite.
H-Box
it's
is
amazing.
great.
He's like my favorite melee player.
But
wanted
I
him-
honestly think that with XYZ's technique, he could easily be higher on this list.
I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
also seems like sometimes he's not having fun in tournaments. As soon as he
that-
lightens up during a match, like I see immediate improvement in friendlies, especially.
Oh
like-
yeah, that's a big. I mean, yeah, the emotional aspect is definitely big.
Yeah, it's up there. So that I think that's part of what holds him back. I think he just needs to kind of break through that mental barrier, and then he'll improve just in general,
Yep, he'll shoot up that list.
for sure.
Moving
So,
on.
Moving on.
Number 19, we have who we spoiled earlier. Sorry for those who have been following along, but we have SlowJoe.
SlowJoe. Perfect.
Oh, my favorite person.
The tragic life continues.
The tragic life.
Man, those. It makes me laugh every time, dude.
SlowJoe
man-
has actually been improving and improving as we've seen. He's stopped drowning in pools for the most part, but always just can't get over certain hurdles, certain people that he just can't beat.
Definitely. I'm gonna say this right now, just from like seeing him in chat, he's definitely got some character blocks.
Yeah.
He definitely does, and some of them are actually not necessarily character blocks, but person blocks. I know that
Yeah.
he personally rages every time he's matched up against a hero, and it happens so often.
It happens so
Doesn't
often that
turn
you would
self-help.
think that someone's paying people to like see Akiro versus SlowJoe every time.
Maybe it's me.
It's nah, it's
No,
definitely
it's actually
you know I'm
Akiro just
hooking-
paying him because he just wants to body SlowJoe.
Nah, you know I'm hooking blind up with that PayPal.
Just so the tragic life can continue.
We gotta manufacture storylines somehow.
Yeah.
Um,
This is what
Yo,
I do behind the scenes, ladies
you-
and gentlemen.
Can we make SlowJoe start entering tournaments as like TL/SlowJoe?
Please.
I'm putting it every time he gets fourth out of pools and has to play Akiro first. We're putting him in a top 32 bracket at like TL/SlowJoe.
That's SlowJoe.
it is done. It is done.
But really, one thing I
Still.
like about SlowJoe's play is he's like just always around on like the Fox boards, and he's just like as soon as something comes up, then there's like some kind of random stupid tech. He's just like, oh, I'm learning that and applying it like this week.
Yeah,
He's,
the man's a
he's
lab
really
monster.
quick about that.
He's
Yeah.
hungry for that tech, which is good.
You got to be
And-
hungry for it.
And he's pushing his Fox every single time, doing new things, innovating, just, and it shows. His results have improved pretty much every single tournament. And
It's
he's
not
just
like
climbing
some
up and climbing
huge
up.
jump, but like the man's just going like one ladder rung at a time. Like he's
Yeah.
working his way.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
be
he-
surprised in like next PR season, like we see him a lot higher.
Last PR, he wasn't even in top 25. He was somewhere in the mid 30s.
Right, and
And
he
he had
was,
lost some
and we
points.
had him ranked below Dom when we had the discussion on top players.
Mm-hmm.
And now, honestly, I would think I would switch it because SlowJoe's has just been placing higher than Dom lately.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, moving on. What do we got
Moving
next?
on, we have the father of the Ganon Cannon,
Oh, that is-
ITony.
You know, no, he
Oh,
wasn't
man.
involved in the Ganon Cannon.
Well, damn it, I need to be fact checked. Tom,
Yeah, wait. I thought wasn't it
It's
JT?
Tugo and JT.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, I'm wrong, and I'm gonna shut up because I'm wrong about everything.
because I thought
We have
ITony was a
ITony.
relatively new player.
ITony is
try.
another one of those names
Try.
that I don't see very often.
He's a
ITony
GGA monster.
Is a GGA
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a GGA boy for sure. He plays like 3 characters too. I think I know he has a Palutena. I have to Palutena match that man.
Does he have a Rosa?
No, he's not like Sage oh. 2.0.
Has- He has a Wario for no customs, and it is very interesting how he plays his Wario. It's very different than Rocky Luna's Wario, if you remember him.
If you remember him.
According to the chat, apparently ITony has a character crisis going on right now.
Also, is somebody saying I think that he was involved on the receiving end of the Ganon Cannon? ITony was.
No,
I didn't think that was right.
A Pikachu player. So bad at remembering tags.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll talk about the Ganon Cannon later, which showed up in the Evo video, by the way. Chicago
Yeah, that
rep,
was nice.
As it should.
as it should, because it was sick.
So sick.
I think that's over 100k views now. So
As it
that's
should.
easy.
So the interesting thing about ITony is that within the season of that was looked at in this bracket, he has actually yet to make it out of pools at a major.
Really?
Yes, his best placing at a major was 33rd at E2C 14. However, he keeps on taking sets over rather good players at GGA, which is not easy to do.
The guy's got the he's got the syndrome where you just can't.
He's got
Compete.
the weekly unlock.
Yeah, that weekly unlock. Like he walks in, he's looking strong. He's like, yeah, I got this, puffing out the chest, and then he walks into a monthly, and he's just like, he's the kid cower in the corner. Please don't hurt me.
Nah,
But
he's the kid who walks in, has his chest puff, and then someone just beats him.
And then it's over. Mental state gone.
He turned out his
also-
chest. He turned out his chest was just balloons.
He's also currently taking a break from tournaments, with his last showing being mid-June. So once he comes back, I'm really interested to see what he can do.
Maybe he'll have a character locked in by then, because apparently he's currently playing Kirby, ZSS,
Oh,
Meta Knight,
man.
Wario, Palutena Pit, and Dark Pit.
Look at that list.
That's so many.
That's
That's
too
a
many.
lot.
That's
All of them.
some Bo Scotty syndrome.
Yeah, that's.
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see future things come from ITony because I think he's got potential as soon as he locks down a character.
or like
look
two
at that
or
man
something. Like you
I
gotta
need to
just.
look up that man's vids.
I mean,
Yeah.
he has the
He bought
ability
me,
for
man.
upsets, but I just want to see a little bit more consistency, like everybody else in this list so far.
That's
Yeah.
that's just gonna
top
be
25
15,
is just, like-
15 to 25.
Yeah, 15-25 is pretty much consistency. Like they'll have one great result and then like one crap result the next day.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have.
I'll apparently be competing at Top Cut tomorrow. That's hype.
Oh, cool.
Looking forward to it. We have at number 17th.
Uh-oh.
Our number 1 in our attractiveness PR, Z-Storm.
Yo, attractiveness PR. That's what we should actually talk about. Because, let's be real.
I've already talked
I
about that.
repped. But anyways,
Sure you
Z-Storm.
did, baby.
Sonic.
Z-Storm, I mean, was placing really consistently high pre-Sonic nerf.
Yeah?
And seems to be falling off since then.
I think he gets angry a little too much too. I've actually played this kid too. One of the few players I've actually played. My Mario wasn't good enough.
It wasn't.
But like because I was at the same tournament, like he definitely, if someone's just getting him, like catching him, he definitely like it hits him hard.
Yeah, if he falls for the same thing multiple times and doesn't adapt fast enough, it will get to his head a little.
A lot of it is like there's like minor stuff like certain moves or certain characters that just like frustrate him and he'll just like lose focus in a match.
His mix-up game is very strong.
Yeah, I think he's got pretty solid fundamentals. I like his spacing. I like he nets his kills usually pretty early. It's just the little things, like Sage
And
said.
it's important to note that the man has apparently been researching something we'll talk about after the PR update, the Static Manny Evo Tech, which
Static
is
Manny
the
timeout.
which is the one where somehow there were more timeouts in Melee Top 8 than in Smash 4 Top 8. So
Take that, Melee players.
Yeah, you have to thank Ally for that. Ally, do you know how many things I would have thrown if Ally had lost to Static Manny? I would have thrown a lot of
I would have thrown everything. Oh my god.
Sturm up in the crowd, just chucking everything.
I was gonna like throw chairs. There were
Right
gonna be
shoe,
people
left
in
shoe,
them.
his chair,
You're
the
gonna
guy
throw a
next to him's
dart, right?
chair.
A dart too, a poison dart at Static Manny.
Poison.
But we'll get to that later.
Static
Right
Manny
now,
found dead in hotel.
Z-Storm is the topic.
Z-Storm.
He's good.
He's good player. Yeah, I think just again that's a mentality thing. I think with him. I know he hasn't been out as much lately. Like he hasn't been coming out to the majors much.
And I don't know if he's even close enough to a weekly to come to it regularly.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's got school and everything like that. So, and
He's actually been consistently coming to every monthly and regional. Every big tournament, he's made a showing.
I thought he missed
Except when his
Dismantle.
dog is getting married.
He missed Dismantle, and I thought he missed like 15 too or something.
He missed Dismantle, but he was at Smash and Splash. He was at 16. He was at, I think he was at 15. I'm
I
trying
don't
to
think
look
he
this
was.
He
up.
wasn't at 15.
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm
he was even
wrong.
at 14 either. No, he was at 14. He was for sure at 14. I think so. But anyways, yeah. So Z-Storm, that kind of pretty much covers everything we had to talk. I think about Z-Storm for the moment. So next one, who do we got?
We have Hoenn.
Hoenn, the good old Pikachu. That is another person who just needs a stronger mental game. He'll even admit it.
3-page paper, which would be like half of it a rant on this kid.
What?
I love Hoenn, but man, that kid frustrates me.
Yeah. He has so
Yeah.
many mental blocks and so many just mental, like, just issues with different characters, and none of it is, like, real matchup stuff. It's all just, like, him hating a character or him hating just how something plays or things like that.
Yeah, he cannot stand Mario, and it's really interesting to me that he can't stand Mario, but he can stand Sheik.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
That's weird.
Like, going on a limb here, I feel like Sheik and Mario are kind of the same. It's not... Sure, Sheik is obviously the better character, but they're both pretty simple to play. I mean, once you get her stuff down, you start seeing the same things. It just depends on the player and how they start applying them that makes her different. And Mario, it's the same way. So I don't know how he has this block against Mario, but not against Sheik.
And the other thing about Hoenn is, I mean, his talent can't be denied. His actual tech skill, when you get down to it, is really quite well. Like, he plays really well, and he labs all the time. He knows Pikachu inside and out. He knows Diddy all the time. Like, he just has so much fundamentals under his thumbs. If he just got past his mental blocks, he could... I don't know
if I would say he's got super good fundamentals. I think he's got good fundamentals, but I think he labs and he places those techniques above the fundamentals sometimes.
I agree.